now tuned in to the Lady Charmaine Live Show, and I'm your host, Lady Charmaine. And as always, I got another great interview for you today. And I'll tell you who it is coming up right after this. My guest today is a Dove Stellar Award-winning and Grammy-nominated recording artist. He's a singer, songwriter, producer, author, and adjunct instructor. And he is here today to talk about his new #1 gospel Billboard jam, People. Help me welcome back to the Lady Charmaine Live Show, Mr. Jonathan McReynolds. Welcome to the show.
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I am good. It's so good to have you back on the show. I was all excited because, I like you, Jonathan.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes, I've been jamming to you. My daughter's inspired by you as a guitarist. So we're just going to have some good old fun today. I'm glad you're back on the show.
Yes, ma'am. I'm glad to be here.
So I want to know, first of all, how are you quarantining?
Oh, just working hard, man. I haven't stopped anything. I haven't changed much of anything. Just doing what I got to do from day in, day out, and playing basketball or something when I can.
Oh, you play basketball? You got hoops?
I'm all right. I'm all right.
Or as they say, you got hops?
I got yeah. I can dunk on a good day.
Oh, okay, on a good day. Now I see you becoming an old Instagram star and everything. I've been watching your little videos. You got all kind of interviews popping and everything on
Man,
Instagram. I see you.
we had to do what we could to promote the EP.
And now you're #1 on the gospel Billboard charts. How does that feel to have a #1 project on the Billboard charts?
Oh, it's always great. We just have to keep it going. I just really want to make sure people hear the album and hear the message that I really think was tailored for this time. That's all that I'm on. So just doing the best I can do. All I can do is all I can do.
Now your music is definitely, you call it life music. I call it heart music because literally when we listen to your music, you literally take us in and we literally look at our hearts. And that song, People, let me tell you, I play that over and over and over in my car because we always say how we got to be delivered from people, right? You got to be delivered from the people, but you made a song about it. So
Yes.
what inspired you to make a song about the very thing, and especially being delivered from church people? So I wish you would have added church up in there because but what made you want to write a song called People and just speak to our hearts regarding that?
Well, no, it's just always my life. It always comes out of my life. It's never just about this is what I want to say to the people. This is
Mm-hmm.
no, this is my prayer. These are my conversations that I have with friends or God. And so, 2019 was just one of those years that I realized that the place that I put people, their opinions was just not right. It wasn't healthy. And so I wanted to make sure that I did something about that as I moved into my 30s, moving to 2020 and all that other stuff.
Now, I've talked to you before because you are very intelligent. You are an adjunct instructor. And of course, we're going to talk about your IQ. You seem like a very deep thinker. Are you a very deep thinker?
Probably way too deep to stay.
Yeah.
Uh,
I could see that about you. It's like you're very intelligent and you analyze things. It looks like you're a person who analyzes a lot of things in your head before you do a lot of things. That's how you come across to me. So when you think of a deep thinker, how would you describe yourself?
as a deep thinker,
Yeah.
just I tend to I call my mind kind of a computer. It just takes all the information in and tries to figure stuff out. I think one of the things that even writing a song like People, being a deep thinker is not always a great thing.
Hmm.
That's not a wonderful thing. Sometimes you
Hmm.
need to ignore some things. You need to just be like, forget it, and not think too hard into it. So I think for me, part of my job to remain happy, to remain, just in a good mood and having the joy of the Lord is to not thinking so hard all the time.
Right, right. Because when you put too much in it, and you have a song called "Situation." Well, first off, your whole project is bomb, Jonathan. Okay,
Thank you.
what was really? Do you have a process, or are you just like in your room? Do you go to the beach, when you start writing, how do your songs start to evolve?
I didn't come from anywhere. Cathedral, I did right on the beach. But most
Hmm.
songs normally come like in the shower. But anytime when you're still, is a good time to kind of listen and pray. And if I'm praying or thinking or talking to a friend, and something I say kind of comes, it's kind of profound or something like that. I'll be like, yo, let me try that, and I throw it up in the air, see if it catches some music, and if it does, then I keep going with it.
Now, how many do you have, like a certain amount of songs you write and then you go and pick like the best 13 to go on your projects? How many songs was actually written and how many did you end up doing? But how many did you actually start with?
No, I've always been very lean, so
Mm.
there's never more than one or two songs that maybe didn't make it, per record. And so there might be another song that we might have intended for this EP, but I'm sure it'll come out later. Um, but yeah, I'm not that guy that has 50 songs and then we pick the best one. No, normally this is all that I wanted to say.
Right. And your songs come from such a beautiful place like cycles. And how many of us know we've been through cycles and we go through the same thing over and over again? Were you going through something when you wrote that song where you say, you know what, I've been going through the same old cycle? Where was that song birthed out
Yeah, I don't write songs out of a beautiful place. I write them out of normal
of?
ugly places. These are not these are life songs. So I mean,
Hmm.
it's it's not a whole new mode that I go into. The same way that if you wrote a journal or wrote a diary or something like that, I just put mine to music, and so you guys kind of hear a snapshot of my life, kind of running in order, and I've just always been amazed by how people resonate with it because no, I know it's gospel music, I know it's inspirational music, but it's not coming out of you know the last worship experience I had. Normally it's normally coming out of prayer. Sometimes it's coming out of a dry place, and so cycles is one of those songs. Yeah, I have some things that I'd be like, all right, God, I'm gonna do better.
Right.
And
Okay.
then you look up and you haven't really gotten that much better at it, or it was left for a while and it came back with a different name. And so it's just one of those things where I was definitely in the shower, and I was actually, I think the first thing that came up to my mind for cycles was acid reflux, which sometimes I suffer from, and
Mm.
the fact that things that you ate hours ago, you start feeling the effects of them coming back up again.
Hmm.
And so that's kind of where I started, even on that song. So
Okay.
inspiration could be all over the place.
Like my song better. Help me to do better. So is that where that came from? And listening to your testimony.
I can't remember where better came from, but yeah, it's always just my life. It's
Hmm.
never, again, same way you would testify or tweet or put something on Facebook of how you feeling or tell your friend how you feeling.
Right.
That's literally the same process for me. It's just I put it to music.
Okay, now Sunday Best. I know you're a judge on Sunday Best. Now, is Sunday Best coming back this season or was production shut down because of the virus?
Yeah, obviously everything was shut down
Hmm.
because of the virus. We're definitely working on it, and so hopefully when things open up even a little bit, we can go back in and finish the season. But
Right.
it wouldn't have aired until what, July anyway.
Okay, okay. Do you know if they got a new date for the Stellar Awards?
They did say something about doing it in August, but I know that they're probably thinking of some different ways to do it. Again, all of this is a fluid
Right.
thing, so nobody knows. Anybody can say whatever they want to say. But at the end of the day, every state has its own idea about how it wants to open things back up
Hmm.
again. We individually as people have our own ideas about when we want to put ourselves out there again.
Right.
So at the end of the day, uh, I don't really have too many solid dates on anything
Okay,
except
now
my birthday.
I know that's right. Okay, now Jonathan, I've told you this before, and I told Jay Moss, I want to hear a song. I got to hear a duet from the Pretty Voices. I want to hear a song with you and him. I know he mentioned about doing something like on Instagram. Do you ever think that you two will get together and do a duet?
Oh yeah, man. I've always looked up to Jay Moss. He's one of my definitely one of my first influences. I
Hmm.
remember 8, 9, well, actually probably a little more than that, 10, 11. Man, I'm old now. 10, 11, 12 years. Uh, you know, uh, I had to stop listening to him because he was affecting me so much. Like he was influencing. way I thought of music so much. I just kind of like, all right, let me stop listening to J Moss before I become J Moss Jr. And so, but no, he's one of the greatest we've ever had. One of the greatest producers, vocalists, and the way he writes really took a lid off of things for a lot of us as writers and producers. And so, that'd be my honor. We've talked about it many times. We kind of got down the road about it just a little bit, but that's something that we got to keep picking up every time we decide let's do an album. You got to keep going and keep
Mm-hmm.
picking it up and seeing maybe if this is the time. So for this EP, me and Molly have talked about working all
Mm-hmm.
the time, and finally it happened. So it
Yes,
just
it
worked
did.
out to take a couple albums to do all the things that you wanted to do.
I love the song with you and Molly. Moving on, this project. What do you want people to take away from this project?
Well, I just want people to see the kind of the storyline. We did a full visual album on YouTube, and
Mm-hmm.
I got a chance to kind of show how all the songs are interconnected and how there's a certain narrative that kind of brings them all together. When I start with a song like People, where I'm requesting something, and it's kind of a statement of our humanity and just the condition that we are all in, what we have to deal with, and what we cause at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
It ends with the answer, which is grace. Grace is and always has been the answer to humanity. Being
Mm-hmm.
all the all the terrible, broken things we can be sometimes, God introduced this concept of grace here, and that's grace that we need to receive from Him, and grace that we need to give to each other.
Amen. You're trying to sit up here and preach and everything, Jonathan. You feel a call to preach the gospel, not just sing the
I,
gospel.
I do my best to do whatever I'm supposed to do at that moment.
And you're funny because you always think you're so old. I'm like, if you're 30 and old, oh my gosh, I'm really old. Okay. So every time you say I'm
Well, it's
old,
just sometimes those numbers they just start running up on you. You start, you used to saying, oh yeah, 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
hmm,
All of a sudden it's 11, 12 years ago. You're like, whoa, I didn't
yeah.
know I did anything this long.
Right. Look, tell me about it because I'm close to 50. So every time you say, oh, I'm like, I wish I was 30 again. Take me back
Uh,
to your age. I'll be smarter, wiser, stronger. Feel like Marvin Winans and better. You know what I'm saying?
for real,
So,
right?
for real. But anyway, I want to remind the audience to make sure that you guys pick up Jonathan McReynolds' brand new project. It's available. I got mine on iTunes, so you guys can go there and pick it up or anywhere digital music is sold. And again, thank you, Jonathan, so much for coming on the show.
I'm honored. Thank you.
You are, and now you know you got to come back now. You hear?
Just let me know.
I
I got.
absolutely will. Thank you so much, Jonathan. And you make sure you have a blessed day, okay?
Are you too?